You don't deserve to be at the family reunion. These reunions are about real family, marriages, grandchildren, legacy. What do you have to show? A company nobody understands and an empty apartment. That's what my mother, Carol Hartwell, said when I called to ask why they'd cancelled my plane ticket to Hawaii. I'm Mia Hartwell, 34, and I just got erased from 15 years of family tradition like I never existed. Here's why this cuts deep. I built EcoStrock Consulting from $0 to $2, $8 million in annual revenue, leading 18 sustainability experts in Seattle. I've paid my own way to every family reunion since I was 19, flight and hotel running $1,800 annually. 2 weeks before our Hawaii gathering, Mom sent an email. We've cancelled your flight and hotel. Derek and Amanda need the budget for their 4 kids. You don't need to be there anyway. You don't have your own family to present. My hands shook so hard I nearly dropped my coffee mug. Hello, beloved listeners. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I'm always curious to know which corners of the world you're tuning in from. Let me know your city in the comments. Enjoy the story. I called immediately. Mum's voice turned ice cold. Derek's family needs the space. These reunions celebrate real family milestones. What are you contributing? Another corporate story. You're alone. It's awkward having you in photos. Dad's voice rumbled in the background, but he said nothing. Just throat clearing and silence. What I did next made them panic in ways they never saw coming. Growing up in Portland, I learned early I was the disappointment. Dad ran Hartwell Construction, a mid-sized building company his father started in 1972. The plan was simple. My older brother Derek would take over. My younger sister Madison would marry well and produce grandchildren. Me? I was supposed to fit somewhere in between, probably as Derek's assistant, but I wanted environmental science. At 17, I told Dad I'd been accepted to University of Washington for sustainability studies. He laughed, beer in hand. Tree hugger degrees don't pay mortgages, Mia. Mum added from the sink, your grandmother's trust fund could help. But only for something practical. I chose UW anyway. Full scholarship covered tuition, but housing was on me. They refused to help. You made your bed, Dad said. At 18, I moved to Seattle with $1,200 in savings, a duffel bag, and a second-hand laptop. Dorm cost $850 monthly. I worked 3 jobs. Research assistant at $12 hourly. Campus barista at $10 plus tips. Weekend tutor at $25 per session. Sleep averaged 5 hours. Meals were ramen and peanut butter. Graduation came in June 2012. I finished with a 3.89 GPA and honors. I sent the family invitations, even paid for 3 guest tickets at $15 each. 2 days before, Mum called. Derek's expanding the business. We can't leave Portland. You understand, I walked that stage alone while 15,000 other graduates had families screaming their names. My first job? Junior consultant at GreenPath Solutions, $48,000 annually. I called home excited. Dad scoffed. Derek cleared $65,000 last year without student loans. Mum asked when I'd settle down. You're 23. Clock's ticking. Meet a nice engineer? The Hartwell reunion tradition started that year. Grandma Iris turned 80, paid for everyone to go to Maui for a week. She held my hand during beach walks, saying she was proud I'd chosen my own path. But at the family dinner, Derek toasted loyalty and tradition, glancing at me. The implication was clear. Grandma passed in 2014, leaving a trust. $80,000 each for Derek, Madison, and me for education or family stability. Derek requested his immediately for business courses. Madison used hers for her 2016 wedding, a $40,000 affair. I never touched mine. The reunions continued annually, but now everyone paid their own way. Mine cost $1,800 each year. Derek brought his growing family. Madison brought hers. I brought career updates nobody wanted to hear. By 2018, I was senior consultant earning $89,000, leading projects for Starbucks and Re. I bought a Capitol Hill condo for $385,000. At the reunion, I mentioned closing a major tech contract. Dad nodded absently, then asked Derek about Beaverton projects. Mum asked when I'd find someone because career doesn't keep you warm at night. In 2019, we took a beach photo. I stood far left, half my body cut off when posted to Facebook. Hartwell Family 2019. Blessed. I asked for the full version. Madison replied, "This one came out best." In 2021, I'd started EcoStrot Consulting. First-year revenue, $340,000. I flew to Maui, stayed at a different hotel to save money. Derek announced baby number 4. Everyone cheered. I mentioned my $180,000 farmer contract. Mum said, "That's nice, dear," and returned to baby names. At the 2022 luau, Uncle Ron asked, "Still single at 31? I confirmed. He shook his head. "Don't wait too long. You'll regret it." Derek laughed into his drink. By 2023, EcoStrot had 8 employees and $1.4 million revenue. I'd moved to a Belltown condo with floor-to-ceiling windows. The reunion that year was brutal. Madison was pregnant with number 3. Every conversation orbited their achievements. I mentioned Fast Company's innovation list. Dad asked, "Profit margin?" I said 22%. He grunted. Derek's at 18%, but with 40 employees and real overhead. Apples to oranges. That night, alone on my hotel balcony with minibar wine, I wondered why I kept trying. Fast forward to October 2024. EcoStrot had 18 employees and projected $2.8 million revenue. We'd landed a $950,000 contract with a multinational retailer. Then Mum's email arrived October 14th, 10:47 a.m. Subject: change of plans. I opened it, expecting a schedule update. Instead, we've cancelled your flight and hotel. Derek and Amanda are bringing all 4 kids. Costs are adding up. You don't need to be there anyway. These reunions are about celebrating marriages, children, milestones. Hope you understand. I've read it 3 times. Cancelled. Don't need to be there. Don't have your own family. I locked myself in the office bathroom and cried. 15 years of paying my own way, smiling through dismissals. Now, erased. I called Mum. She answered brightly. "Did you get my email?" I asked about the budget confusion since I always paid my own way. She hesitated. "It's about priorities. Derek has 4 children. What are you contributing?" "Corporate strategy stories. We're celebrating real family this year. Derek's senior partnership, Madison's 3rd baby, your father's 35 years in business." My stomach dropped. "My business hitting $3 million doesn't count." She sighed, exasperated. "It's not the same. Derek's building family legacy. Nobody understands your work. And you're alone. It's awkward in photos." Dad's voice rumbled background. She covered the phone, spoke to him, returned. "Your father agrees. Focus on people actually building families. Join next year if things change." If I got married and had kids, she meant. "Understood," I said and hung up. I didn't cry again. I researched, called Jake Morrison, a former colleague in Portland commercial real estate. If I wanted to know a construction company's financial status, where would I look? He laughed. Public records for liens, credit reports, city permit violations. "Why?" I explained. He pulled preliminary info. Hartwell Construction had $340,000 in supplier debts per public records, 3 project delays for environmental compliance failures, and lost to municipal bids to competitors with better green credentials. Most interesting, a $1.2 million loan from Columbia Bank due July 2025, 8 months away. The legacy Dad was so proud of was failing. In the exact area where I'd built expertise. Next, I hired forensic accountant Lisa Chun to investigate Grandma's trust. 3 days later, she called. "You need to see this in person." In her office, she spread documents across the table. "Your father and Derek submitted a 2018 request claiming you'd authorized releasing your $80,000 for business education. They provided a signed document." My blood froze. "I never signed anything." She compared it to my 2014 signature. "It's forged. They took your $80,000 for Hartwell Construction operating losses in November 2018. I stared at the forged signature. Legal recourse, wire fraud, theft, forgery, all felonies. You could report to FBI. I took copies and made 3 calls. First, Marcus Tang, an M&A specialist. If I wanted to acquire a struggling construction company and pivot to sustainable building. Second, my attorney Ben Cross, draft an acquisition offer for Hartwell Construction. I want 51% control. Third, Elena Rodriguez, who ran a European ESG firm. Let's revisit that merger conversation. Over 10 days, I orchestrated the biggest moves of my career. Elena and I merged EcoStrat with her firm Green Future ESG, creating EcoStrat Global, 34 employees across Seattle, London, Berlin, $6.2 million projected revenue. The deal valued my portion at $8.5 million. 60% ownership, CEO role. Simultaneously, Ben drafted a Hartwell Construction acquisition offer, $1.5 million for 51%. Paying their $1.2 million loan, clearing $340,000 supplier debts. Catch. I'd become CEO, Dad would retire, Derek demoted to operations manager with major pay cut. Rebrand as Hartwell Green Construction, specializing in sustainable building. The reunion happened without me. Instagram posts rolled in, Derek's beach family, Madison's matching daughters, sunset dinners. Blessed to have this amazing family. Derek commented on one photo. Mia was too busy with work. We missed her. I didn't comment. I was closing deals. Monday after the reunion, November 27th, Dad called at 10:15 a.m. I let it go to voicemail. His strained voice. Business matter. Call me back. I waited 2 days. Wednesday, 4 p.m. I called. What's the business matter? He cleared his throat. Company's in a tight spot. Bank's calling the loan early. We need $200,000 to stabilize while we refinance. You've done well. Maybe you could lend us. I let silence stretch. Lend. Like you borrowed my $80,000 trust fund in 2018? Dead quiet. Then stammering. What are you talking about? The forged signature you and Derek used. I have the documents, bank records, everything. Heavy breathing. That was ... We were in a bind. We planned to pay it back. 6 years later, you're asking for more instead of repaying what you stole. After cancelling my reunion invite because I don't deserve to be there, his tone shifted, defensive. We thought it was best. Derek's family needed focus. Right. I'm sending a formal offer tomorrow. I'm buying Hartwell Construction. Check your email in the morning. I hung up. Ben sent the acquisition documents that evening. Derek's email came at 11:47 p.m., all caps. You can't be serious. This is our family business, I replied at midnight. Dad built it. You ran it into the ground. I'm offering a lifeline. Take it or declare bankruptcy. Mum called next morning, voice shaking. This is vindictive. We're your family. You stole from me, lied, then told me I wasn't worthy. I'm saving the business. Terms are non-negotiable. She tried guilt. What would Grandma think? Grandma left that trust for our futures. Dad and Derek stole mine. She'd be proud I'm fixing what they broke. You have 48 hours to respond. After that, fraud evidence goes to FBI and Oregon Attorney General. Friday afternoon, Derek called, voice tight with rage. You're destroying Dad's legacy? I'm saving it. Under your management, it'll be bankrupt by summer. Under mine, it'll thrive. Stay as operations manager at $65,000 or leave. $65,000? I make $120,000 now. You make $120,000 running a company $1.54 million in debt. $65,000 with job security is generous. He hung up. Saturday, I flew to Portland, met them at the family house at 2 p.m. Dad, Mum, Derek, Amanda, Madison, Tyler. I brought Lisa Chun. We sat across from them. Dad tried to take control. Let's talk reasonably. You're asking us to hand over my father's business. I opened my briefcase. Let's start with facts. I slid documents across. Fact 1. You and Derek forged my signature to steal $80,000 in 2018. Here's proof. Signature samples. Forged document. Bank transfers to Hartwell Construction, November 12th, 2018. Derek's face flushed. You can't prove that. The request came from your email. IP logs show Hartwell Construction office. The notary has no record. It's fraud. Mum looked at Dad, eyes wide. Roger, you told me Mia agreed. He faltered. It was temporary, I continued. Fact 2. $340,000 unpaid supplier invoices. 3 liens filed in 2024. Fact 3. $1. 2 million bank loan due July 2025 because you violated environmental compliance. Fact 4. Lost $800,000 in municipal contracts for lacking green certifications. Tyler spoke up. You're just swooping in? That's cold. I looked at him. You'll hear why. This is family business. Madison bristled. He's my husband. He's family. Right, family. The thing I don't have because I'm unmarried. Why you cancelled my reunion invite? I turned to Dad. Here's my offer. $1.5 million for 51%. Money pays your loan and supplier debts. You retire with $60,000 annual consulting fee for 2 years. Derek stays as operations manager at $65,000. Company rebrands as Hartwell Green Construction. I implement sustainable practices. And if we refuse? Derek challenged. Lisa spoke, cold and professional. Monday, we filed criminal complaints for wire fraud and forgery with FBI. Civil suit for $80,000 plus damages. You'll face public scandal while refinancing. Bankrupt by spring, possibly facing federal charges. Amanda looked horrified. You'd send your father to prison? He stole from his daughter. Actions have consequences. Mum broke down crying. Can't we forgive and move forward? I looked at her. You want forgiveness without accountability. You have until 5 p.m. Monday to sign. After that, the offer expires and legal actions proceed. I stood. Dad sat with head in hands. Derek's jaw clenched. At the door, I turned. That email about me not deserving the reunion? Combined with documented exclusion and financial fraud, we have a case for intentional infliction of emotional distress. I'm not pursuing it because, unlike you, I don't enjoy causing family pain. But the option exists. I left. Monday, 4:47 p.m., Ben called. They signed, all of them. You own 51% of Hartwell Construction, effective immediately. $1.5 million wire transfer processing. I walked to my window overlooking South Lake Union and felt it. Victory, justice, and the strange emptiness of winning a battle I never wanted to fight. Tuesday, I flew to Portland. Went straight to Hartwell Construction offices in Beaverton. Gathered 37 employees in the warehouse. Dad and Derek stood aside, looking aged. I introduced myself. I'm Mia Hartwell, Roger's daughter. As of yesterday, I'm majority owner and new CEO. Here's what's changing. Rebranding as Hartwell Green Construction. Focus on sustainable building. Hiring compliance officer and sustainability coordinator. Every project gets environmental review. Transparent financial practices. You'll get paid on time. Project manager Bill asked, what happens to Roger and Derek? Roger's retiring today, consulting part-time for 2 years. Derek's transitioning to operations manager, overseeing field crews. I'm CEO with the leadership team I'm building. Questions? Admin staff Sarah asked quietly. Are we keeping our jobs? Everyone has a job unless performance or ethics give me reason to change that. I'm here to fix management failures, not punish you. Over 6 months, I rebuilt Hartwell Green from inside. Hired Marcus Chun as Chief Sustainability Officer at $110,000, brought Rachel Kim as Financial Controller, oversaw lead certification applications. Derek hated it. He supervised concrete pours and framing, actual physical work he'd avoided. Salary cut meant Amanda returned to work. They downsized from 3,200 square feet in West Lynn to 1,800 in Milwaukee. Private school became public school. Amanda stopped posting blessed life stories. Dad showed up twice, both times looking smaller, shoulders hunched. He tried giving advice on a bid once. Lowball to win. I shut him down in front of the team. We compete on value and sustainability, not price. If we can't win that way, we don't want it. He never offered advice again. Validation came April 2025. Hartwell Green won a $4.2 million contract with Portland for a community center with strict lead gold standards. We'd beaten 5 firms, including the 2 who'd taken contracts from us the year before. When the announcement came, Rachel knocked on my door, grinning. We got it. I felt pride, relief, vindication crack open in my chest. Everyone gets $2,000 bonus when contracts sign. Team celebration dinner Friday. Portland Business Journal ran a May feature, How Mia Hartwell transformed her family's failing construction company into a green building leader. It detailed near bankruptcy, acquisition, turnaround. Mentioned I'd overcome family tensions to pursue environmental consulting before returning to save the family business. Dad read it online. Mum texted me a screenshot of him at their table, iPad in hand, staring at my photo. No message. Didn't respond. Derek never congratulated me. He showed up, managed crews, left. We didn't speak beyond operations. At the celebration dinner, he and Amanda arrived late, ate quickly, left before dessert. I didn't care. Madison reached out in June, asking to meet for coffee. She looked tired. Baby Emma in stroller. Sophie coloring. Tyler lost his job 3 months ago. We're struggling. Does Hartwell Green need administrative help? I sipped my latte. We need someone in HR. But are you asking genuinely or because Mum and Dad told you to appeal to sympathy? She looked down. Both. We're 2 months behind on mortgage. I need income. If I hire you, you report to Rachel. No special treatment. $52,000 annually. Standard benefits. Interested? Her eyes teared. Yes. Thank you. Thank Rachel. She needs the help. Madison started 2 weeks later. Competent, punctual, kept her head down. We didn't socialize. She never mentioned the reunion. The 2025 Hawaii reunion happened in November. I wasn't invited, didn't care. I was in London finalizing EcoStrock global expansion into Scandinavia. We closed a $1.8 million contract with a Norwegian shipping company. I saw Instagram posts from my Rosewood London hotel. Same beach, same smiles. Derek's account was quieter. Madison didn't post. The family photos showed Derek's 6, Madison's 5, Mum and Dad. Caption, Hartwell Family Reunion 2025. Grateful for this crew. No mention of me. No cropped edge where I stood. Just absence. I liked the photo. Kept scrolling. By December 2025, EcoStrock Global had 42 employees on 3 continents, $8.9 million annual revenue. Hartwell Green had $6.4 million project backlog. I split time between Seattle and Portland. Bought a Queen Anne house, 2,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, home office, rooftop deck with Puget Sound views, $1.2 million, cash from EcoStrop merger proceeds. Furnished it slowly. Every piece chosen for function and beauty. The guest room housed team members from London or Berlin, people who chose to be in my life. Christmas 2025, Mom texted December 18th, family dinner, Christmas Eve, 6 p.m. Hope you can make it, I responded. I'll be in Berlin for work. Have a good holiday, she replied. Berlin on Christmas? That's so sad. You should be with family. I didn't respond. I wasn't in Berlin. I was in Seattle. But truth didn't matter to them. Instead, Christmas Eve, I hosted dinner at my house. 12 people. EcoStrack Global Leadership, including Elena from London, Rachel and Marcus from Hartwell Green, Lisa Chun, 3 UW friends. We cooked, drank wine, laughed until sides hurt. Midnight, as everyone left, Elena hugged me on the porch. You've built something remarkable, Mia. I'm proud to work with you. I hugged back. Thank you for seeing me. She pulled back, confused. What do you mean? For seeing me as I am, not as what someone thinks I should be. She smiled. That's the only version worth knowing, after everyone left. I cleaned, stood on my rooftop deck, looking at Seattle's skyline. Space Needle glowed. Below, the city hummed with life. I thought about the reunion happening in Portland, probably winding down. Did they mention me? Did they wonder where I was? Did it matter? No, it didn't. Because I'd done what they accused me of. Chosen my own path, built my own success, refused to fit their definition of worthy. The difference was, I'd won. January 2026, I resigned from Hartwell Green's day-to-day operations. Promoting Marcus to CEO. I retained 51% ownership and board seat, stepped back to focus on EcoStrock Global. Dad emailed 2 days later. Heard you're leaving. Guess you got what you wanted. Thanks for not completely destroying it. I didn't reply. Mum called in February, voice hesitant. Maybe we were too harsh about the reunion. If you want to come this year, I'm not interested. I have other commitments. But it's family tradition. It's your tradition. I have my own now. Silence. Then, are you ever going to forgive us? I considered honestly. Forgiveness implies I'm holding anger. I'm not. I just don't need you in my life. You've proven I don't meet your standards. So I'm building something where I exceed every standard, my own. That's so cold, Mia. No, Mum, it's healthy. Cold was cancelling my invite via email and stealing my inheritance. This is boundaries. She hung up. March 2026, I established the Iris Hartwell Foundation for Women in Environmental Leadership, funded with $500,000 from personal assets. Scholarships, mentorship, professional development for young women in sustainability careers. First cohort, 10 recipients, including a 19-year-old from rural Oregon studying environmental engineering. A 24-year-old starting a solar company in Arizona. The website featured Grandma's quote from an old letter, "Build your own path, Mia. Don't wait for anyone's permission to matter." Press release went out. April 1st. Portland Business Journal interviewed me. Reporter asked, "Is your family involved in the foundation?" I smiled. The foundation honors my grandmother's belief in independent, purpose-driven women. That legacy is mine to steward. Dad saw the article. Derek mentioned at a board meeting, "Dad's upset you used Grandma's name without asking." I looked at Derek. "He used my name to commit fraud without asking me. I think we're even." Derek had no response. By June 2026, I'd settled into my life, splitting time between Seattle, London, wherever work took me. I dated occasionally, but nothing serious. I ran half marathons, attended concerts, volunteered with environmental advocacy, hosted monthly dinners with rotating groups. My life was full, complex, entirely my own design. The reunion happened November 2026. I was in Stockholm keynoting a conference on corporate climate commitments. 400 attendees, 2-minute standing ovation. I didn't check Instagram for reunion photos. Didn't wonder about my absence. Didn't feel the old exclusion ache. Because I'd stopped caring whether they saw my worth. I saw it. My team saw it. My clients saw it. Scholarship recipients calling me a role model saw it. That was enough. Cold December 2026 evening, I reviewed year-end financials in my Seattle office. EcoStrock Global, $11.2 million revenue, 48 employees, 4 continents. Hartwell Green, $7.8 million completed projects, LEED Gold achieved, industry awards. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. This is Derek. Amanda and I are separating. Thought you should know. I stared, then deleted it. His personal life wasn't my concern. Madison texted, "Did Derek tell you? It's been hard on the kids." I responded, "I hope everyone finds peace." She sent, "You really don't care at all, do you?" I thought about answering. Finally, I care the way you'd care about colleagues' family challenges, basic compassion without personal involvement. That's what happens when people make clear you're not their inner circle. Eventually you stop trying. She didn't respond. Truth was, I felt distant sadness for the family we could have been, but no guilt, no responsibility for fixing it. They'd taught me love without respect was worthless. I'd learned well. As 2027 began, I updated estate planning. My assets, approximately $14 million between cash. Real estate, business equity, investments would distribute as follows. 40% to Iris Hartwell Foundation, 30% to environmental nonprofits, 20% to key employees, 10% split among scholarship recipients as career grants. 0 to parents. 0 to Derek. 0 to Madison. Ben asked if I was sure. Unusual to completely exclude direct family. They excluded me when alive. This makes it official. Years continued. EcoStrack Global grew. Hartwell Green thrived under Marcus. I built friendships that lasted, relationships based on respect, a global professional reputation. I traveled 23 countries, learnt Spanish and French, fell in love twice, climate scientist in Oslo for a year, architect in Vancouver for 8 months. Both ended with respect, no bitterness. I bought a San Juan Islands cabin for weekends, kayaked mornings, read afternoons, slept to water sounds. Mum and Dad's Christmas card still arrived yearly, grandchildren photos, generic, hoping to reconnect messages. I didn't send cards back. The reunion continued. Cousin Jessica occasionally texted updates. She asked once in 2029, "Do you ever think about making peace?" I wrote back, I'm at peace. They need to reconcile that I built a successful life without their approval. That's not my work. She never asked again. By 2030 at 38, I'd lived more years building chosen family than trying to fit into biological one. The math felt significant. First, 34 years marked by their voices, expectations, dismissals, conditional love. Last 4 marked by my own, clear, confident, unapologetic. I preferred the latter. May 2030, I gave a TED Talk in Vancouver, Building Legacy When Family Doesn't Believe in You. I shared the story, core themes. Being excluded, stealing inheritance back through acquisition, choosing boundaries over reconciliation. The talk went viral. 4.2 million views first month. Comments filled with similar stories. One stood out from Desitros 47. My parents disowned me when I started my tech company. 10 years later, they asked for money when their practice failed. I said no, your story reminded me I made the right choice. I hearted it. Dad saw the talk. Mum left a voicemail, a voice thin and angry. How could you air our business? This is humiliating. People ask us at church. I didn't call back. Posted on LinkedIn. Grateful for the response. To everyone who's shared stories of choosing authentic success over familial expectations, you're not alone. Keep building. 28,000 likes. The empire I'd built, 2 thriving companies, a foundation changing lives, relationships based on respect, a home as sanctuary, wasn't revenge. It was justice, proof, freedom, and it was mine. Thanks for staying through this entire story. What would you have done if your family cancelled your place at a major event and told you that you didn't deserve to be there? Have you ever had to cut off family members who refuse to see your worth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this story resonated with you, smash that like button and subscribe for more stories about setting boundaries, building success, and choosing yourself when others won't. See you in the next one, where I'll share how an ex tried to claim half of everything I built after ghosting me for 5 years.